Welcome to another beautiful day out here at the river house, and it's irritating to see that sun line over there and know that it ain't coming over here. But we've got some construction doors on the place now. What a mess. I was originally going to spend today doing the bird blocking up there, but then I found out that I need to leave that open for vents, which makes a lot of sense. So a few other things we can do. We need to extend that all the way out till it matches the 8-inch wall, so that I can get insulation up in that panel up in there. So that's got to be done today. A general pickup and restacking. I would like to get the wood stove put through, probably that bay right there. I have a problem in that I don't want the smoke to just roll right up the side of the house, and I don't want to put 20 some odd feet of chimney on it. So, and the wind comes directly at it, so it'll push that smoke back. So I'm thinking that maybe I could run the chimney sideways and stick it out the side of the house over there. I don't know. We'll get it figured out. I gotta order that stuff still. I got 2 windows to block over there, one of which has to be removable, and 2 windows to block over here, one of which has to be removable, and 1 window over there. And then we'll have plastic on the outside covering everything. Oh, and I have pieced those 2 walls together, so that's sealed up. And got 1 construction light hung. So it's just around in a circle, and I feel like I'm not getting much done. Somehow an entire day disappears. Then later this afternoon, I need to bring my trailer back into town so that I can pick up that white Ford Explorer out of the yard and get it tucked in somewhere over here. And I think I'm buying a pickup later this afternoon, a 78 half-ton Dodge 4-wheel drive. And you know, someday I'll get that Willys Jeep fixed with a plow on it, but time is my most precious commodity right now, and so you know, I can't afford to replace the big blue diesel, so I can't ride the motorcycle in the wintertime, so I just a half-ton work truck. I figure $1,300. It's like 110,000 miles on it. 318. I really can't go wrong at that price. As long as I don't crash it, it'll always be worth at least that. So that's what I was looking at. It's only money. Yeah, still a lot of ghosties there. I'm afraid that's inside the camera, guys. This is the Franken camera. This is that the Canon VIXA 600, but it's patched together with a bunch of VIXA 800 parts. So it's got 800, the circuitry that picks up the video is out of the 800, and part of the case is out of the 800. Anyways. She's a warhorse, but she's a little speckly. It's in, it's running, she's pumping out great big goobers of heat, all of which is super duper awesome. I thought I could maybe get away with the idea of not extending that chimney. I can't, it just gets caught under the eaves and rolls up. So I'll have to let it go out, and then tomorrow I can do something. Do something. But okay, so that's one small thing marked off the list. Now let's go patch what holes we can patch. You have those days where you feel like you worked and you can't point at a single real accomplishment. I got plastic over those two windows, that window, that window, that window, that window. That's about it. I got a little piece of sheeting up over there. I got these pieced together. Yours truly managed to miscut 2 in a row. So that ended all of my large scraps. So that was done. I've started to put the stringers up there so I can put the verticals to hang the drywall and the insulation. Those 3 are in on the wrong side of the line. So I'm going to go home. I got to hook up to a trailer, go look at a truck, load a 1992 Ford Explorer where the flex plate has broken off the back of the crank. So it's an easy fix. You do have to pull the motor though. Tomorrow's another day at the River House. Hey! A new morning and a better attitude, right? So we're back at it in my echoing cathedral. It's probably not as impressive for you. The fire is lit, so I've got some heat at my back, and we're going to take care of some things. I was able to sweep the frost off the roof so I don't take Mr. Toad's wild ride there. And I really have got to get that last little bit of 2x6 eave ridge, because if I get a lot of heavy snow, right now I've got 5 rafters there that aren't attached to anything, so it's just cantilevering them. But if I get that final bit of ridge up, then they all got to bend together, right? Put some strength in it. Problem is, yours truly doesn't have that board, and I didn't want to buy one. I've got this 2x6 right here. No joke. It is 1.5 inches too short. So what I'm going to do is take down this brace right here. Now that the walls are tied together, I really shouldn't need it. And if I do, I'll just put it back with something smaller. And then I'm going to cut it at the right length and rip it with the table saw, turning a 2x8 maybe, 2x9. It's a spare floor joist from someplace. Turning that into a 2x6, I'm going to go attach that. After we do that, it's time to get these eaves up. Inside gable insulation ends, and I figured out how I'm going to do it. I've been using that same table saw to rip down scraps. These will get attached like you can see up there. Remember, all those are in wrong. These will get attached sideways. And because I cut them 2 inches and I've got 3-inch screws and I can bury them 1/2 inch, I can then screw down straight through these into my 2x4s that will then support and hold my insulation and my drywall on the ends. So I got an awful lot of those to do. I stopped in at a hardware store and I have ordered all the sheets I need for there. To be honest with you, I think I ordered 3 extra, but that's okay. All the sheets I need for that to get that done. And a case of zip tape, which will be enough tape for me to go and do all the extra cracks around the outside edges, and I'll have some left over, not enough to do the windows, but obviously I can use the tape on the windows as well, so there's no real waste there. And I went in and I was going to order insulation, and I needed
R13 unfaced from either Owens Corning or James Manfield for my stud bays, and I was going to do I was going to buy all the insulation at once, but I was going to do all of the stud bays on the outside, and then we can chase our wires through. All right, so then we chase all of our wires through, because I got a pathway there, and then I would do all of the outside. And what the hardware store said is, dude, you're an idiot. You need to be looking at blown-in fiberglass, because nobody really does it really the way you're talking about anymore. So I need to look into that. It will be within pennies of the same amount of insulation in the bat form, not counting the mesh sheeting. I don't know what the mesh sheeting itself costs, but not counting the mesh sheeting, it'll be within pennies of the bat stuff. And it's a little slower. You got to put the mesh up, poke a hole, blow in. But it, as they pointed out, it would fill every nook and cranny. So that would be cool. We got a dog barking out here. I wonder if the neighbors got new dogs. Anyways, that's what we're working on right now. First thing, I'm gonna rip this thing down. I'm going up, I'm finishing that. Done. That will allow me to ignore the roof for the rest of the winter if that's what it takes. And I can worry about it later. That's my last little piece up there. And then after that, you know, I can router along that edge, and we're done. Then I'm going to come in here and work on this. So, like I said, I got that swept off. Let's get up there before any of that white stuff comes down. Well, if anybody's got these, first off, invest in the brushless. I don't know if you need that speed control one that's connected to your phone app. That seems dumb. Unless you're running a crew, in which case you can deactivate a stolen drill or ping a stolen drill. But definitely go for the brush over the brushless. But get yourself a box of them little bit retention springs, because I've put 2 in this one and it's currently broken, and this one has gotten 1/10 of the use. It's currently broken. But I did find a trick. Something has gone wrong inside there. Usually you pull this forward and it releases the bit, but for whatever reason, whatever broke inside mine, pulling it forward locks the bit in place. So a concrete twist tie, and my bit is retained. Modern solutions for modern problems. A little after lunch break here. Nothing quite like granola bars so stale that the fruit inside is crunchy. Maybe it's fermented and it'll give me a kick to get through the day. Roof is done. I had a little bit up there I had forgotten about. It's also done. I've got the first 3, well, 4. I had to realign that rafter, but they're in place. So we're all set to go all the way up, and then we can begin cutting in the 2x4 verticals. I don't know if this is the right way to do it. It's just the way I'm going to do it. So, The ladder is up. I've got as many measurements as I can hold on this. This, by the way, is a laminate card, like a sample card. Works great because you can just wipe it off with a damp rag or whatnot and then write on it again. It doesn't take up much room. And I've never been able to keep paper anything in my work belt. So yeah, that took longer than I would like to admit, especially when I had to, whoa, what's going on now? Well, I guess you just get blurry me. This might be the end of this camera, who knows? But it took longer than I'd like to admit, especially when I had to custom cut them there at the end. But I got my cut list and we'll have at it. And hopefully, I'll see you again on the other side. Gorgeous as always, but it's done. So there is one end done. Okay, I still got to put something up along there. No, I don't actually, because we're going to end, we're going to come out straight from there. So there'll be a small, straight, flat section right here in the middle. So I don't even have to mess with that up there. So I'm done. I got her. Oh, I'm missing one down there. It wouldn't be me if it wasn't done wrong at least once. But yeah, so that's good. Now, I can't break down this scaffolding, so I got to take that one and set it up over here and continue across and do that end, and then that end, and then that end. And then we're done. I didn't film it. You don't want to see it. And I realized I have forgotten on both center lines, and I think both end lines, that I've got to put. I got to put something that lines up with the end there to catch the ceiling, but we'll get it tomorrow. I was gonna, well, thinking I could get both sides done, and I probably could have if I hadn't have worked on the roof today, but that's fine. I'm getting out of here and gonna go. Amazed how much that fire actually does, even with these holes in the walls. And go pick up that truck. I did end up buying it. There's a little bit of buyer's remorse the morning after. Story as old as time. It's from a friend's son, and I paid, well, because it was a friend's son, he wanted $1,300, and then I didn't realize they had all these extra parts, grills and lights and carburetors and brakes and spindles and all these extra parts that they had salvaged because they had an opportunity at a wrecking yard to take off anything they could remove in like 4 hours. So they tried to strip a truck as best they could. But anyways, I paid 14 for a good running 1978 half-ton Dodge four-wheel drive. And tires aren't in as good a shape as I remember. Anyways, I'm whining. So I got to go pick up the brown turd tonight and bring it home. And I don't know, maybe I can get it licensed and regied and insured. Sometime tomorrow. I think I got to make an appointment. Go to the DMV. Anyways, we'll get out of here and I'll at least show you a nighttime shot of the old girl. Well, here it is.
You might have already gotten nicknamed the brown turd with all of your very common late 70s Dodge problems. Dash lights don't work. One of the reverse lights comes on in park. That was a new one on me. The windshield arm has popped off underneath there. She's running like garbage. But then I looked at the cap and rotor, and it's kind of impressive at running at all. Same with the spark plugs. One barrel, 318 Dodge. I am not a teenage boy anymore, so all I really care about is fuel mileage. So I'm perfectly fine with that being on there, at least for the foreseeable future. Jeez, look at that little tiny air cleaner. So, yeah, she's a bit of a rust bucket underneath. Not so bad on the sides. And it's running way too rich. And it's hard to tell if the automatic choke is functioning at all on there. Like I said, the tires are worse than I remember. Quite a bit worse than I remember. He's got big cracks going down the center of the tread blocks on some of them. 3950 R15s. So that's the same tires as I put on the Yellow Willie's Jeep. Boy, I could get those super cheap from Tread Right, even though I swore I'd never use their tires again. But I also don't give a rat's patootie about this machine. And it's definitely not going to go anywhere. And then they told me I have a leaking brake line in here somewhere. I know they did front brakes on it and put a new hub on this wheel. It's Dodge's fantastic full-time four-wheel drive. I never actually checked that. Here's hoping that still works. I was very sure when I looked at it it had a receiver hitch. It turns out it does not. That's a bummer. I'll have to... Everything I've got receivers for. But I ended up with a spare tailgate, a spare grill, a spare cowling. This is the air cleaner off that other Dodge, which had, I think, a 340, some sort of hopped up 340. Here's all my extra bearings. They replaced the wheel studs, extra tail lights, extra also cracked dash piece. Oh, better amperage gauge. I swapped these things over. They're both painted gray. I wonder why. And then underneath here should be a handful of extra carburetors. I guess they forgot those. I'll get from them later. Replacement washer bottle. Some replacement battery cables. But yeah, the brown turd. The gold turd? I don't know. Oh, I got new ones of those. I don't know why I need them. I imagine if I did nothing more, plugs, cap, and rotor, she'd already run exponentially better, but it really needs a tweak on air fuel mixture too. And it came with a brand new battery, so there's 120 some odd bucks there. It was prepped maybe for some stripes on the hood. I'm sorry, a one barrel 318, you're not really looking at a boss unit there. So I'll have to figure out how to pop that back on. Bet the windshield leaks too. Getting this and running it for the winter was faster than fixing that. So that, go on the trailer, get parked out back somewhere. I need to pop that out. Get out there and put it back someplace, and I'll worry about it later. And then I'll run this. I don't know that I really can get hurt too bad, but more importantly, I can put a small snowplow on this. Nothing professional, probably even nothing powered, but I don't need anything powered. Manual snowplow blade would be fine. I just need to push a little snow and run back and forth and keep the miles off the truck I can't afford to replace. So, there it is.